I like being a private eye. And even though once in a while I've had my gums massaged with an automobile jack, the sweet smell of greenbacks makes it all worthwhile. Not to mention the dames, which are a minor preoccupation of mine that I rank just ahead of breathing. That's why, when the door to my office swung open and a long-haired blonde came striding in, my salivary glands shifted into third.
Hi, I'm Heather Butkus, and I'm a nudie model.
I'm telling you, this babe's figure described a set of parabolas that could cause cardiac arrest in a yak. What can I do for you, sugar?
I want you to find someone for me.
Missing person? You tried the police?
Not exactly, Mr. Lubowitz.
Call me Kaiser, sugar. All right. So what's the scam?
God.
God.
That's right, God. The creator, the underlying principle, the first cause of all things, the all-encompassing. I want you to find him for me.
I've had some fruitcakes in the office before. But when they're built like she was, you listened. Why?
That's my business, Kaiser. You just find him.
I'm sorry, sugar. You got the wrong boy.
But why?
I never take a case unless I know all the facts.
Okay. Okay.
Let's have it on the line, sugar.
Well, I'm not really a nudie model.
No?
No. And my name isn't Heather Butkus either. It's Claire Rosenwig, and I'm a student at Vassar. A philosophy major. History of Western thought and all that.
Yeah, go on.
I have a paper due in January on Western religion. All the other kids in the course will hand in speculative papers. But I want to know. Professor Algio said if anyone finds out for sure, they're cinched to pass the course. And besides, my dad's promised me a Mercedes if I get straight A's.
Her story was beginning to interest me. Spoiled co-ed, high IQ, and a body I wanted to know better. All right. So what does God look like?
I've never seen him.
Well, how do you know he exists?
That's for you to find out.
So you don't know what he looks like or where to begin looking?
No, not really. Although, I suspect he's everywhere. In the air, in every flower, in you and I, and even in this chair.
We're off to a great start, sugar. So, she was a pantheist. I made a mental note of it. Said I'd give her case a try. For $100 a day, expenses, and a dinner date. Outside, it was getting hot. Maybe God did exist, maybe he didn't, but somewhere in the city, there were a lot of guys who were going to try and keep me from finding out.
Of course there's a you-know-what, but I'm not even allowed to say his name or he'll strike me dead. Which I could never understand why someone would be so touchy about having his name said. Ever since I was a little boy in yeshiva school, it never made any sense to me.
My first lead was Rabbi Itzhak Weissman, a local cleric who owed me a favor for finding out who was rubbing pork on his hat. You ever see him?
Me? You kidding? Lucky if I get to see my grandchildren.
How do you know he exists?
How do I know? How do I know? What kind of a question is that? Could I get a suit like this for $14 if there was nobody out there? Here, feel a gabardine. How can you doubt?
You got nothing more to go on.
Hey, what's the Old Testament, chop liver? How do you think Moses got the Israelites out of Egypt, with a smile and a tap dance? Believe me, you don't part the Red Sea without some help. It takes power.
So he's tough, huh?
Yes, sir. Very tough. You'd think with all that success he'd be a lot sweeter.
How do you know so much?
Because we're the chosen people. He takes best care of us of all his children, which I would also like to someday speak to him about.
How much do you pay him to be chosen?
Don't ask. Don't ask.
So that's how it was. The Jews were into God for a lot. It was the old protection racket. Take care of them in return for a price. And from the way Rabbi Weissman was talking, he soaked them plenty. Chicago Phil, forger, bank robber, strong-arm man, and avowed atheist.
The guy never existed, Kaiser. This is a straight dope. So just a hype. There ain't no Mr. Big. It's a syndicate. Mostly Sicilian. But international, you know? There ain't no actual head. Except maybe the Pope.
I want to see the Pope, Phil.
Yeah, it can be arranged. Be at the Roman restaurant tomorrow at noon.
Phil, does the name Claire Rosenweed mean anything to you?
Nope.
Heather Butkus?
Yeah, sure. She was at peroxide job with the presumed from Radcliffe.
Radcliffe. She told me Vassar.
Well, she ain't telling the truth. She was mixed up with this philosopher for a while.
Was he a pantheist?
Empiricist, as I remember. Bad guy. Completely rejected Hegel or any dialectical methodology.
One of those.
Yeah. Yeah, he used to be drummer with a band called ABB. Then he got hooked on logical positivism for a while. When that didn't work, he tried pragmatism. Last I heard, he stole some money to take a course in Schopenhauer for Columbia. The mob would like to get their hands on him, or at least his textbooks, so they can resell them for the money.
Thanks, Phil. You've been a big help.
Hey, take it from me, Kaiser. There's no one out there. It's a void. I mean, I couldn't pass all these bad checks or screw society the way I do if I was able for 1 second to recognize any authentic sense of being. The universe is strictly phenomenological. Nothing's eternal. It's all meaningless.
I had a beer and tried to add it all up, but it made no sense at all. Socrates was a suicide, or so they said. Christ was murdered. Nietzsche went nuts. If there was someone out there, he sure as hell didn't want anybody to know about it. And why was Claire Rosenweig lying about Vassar? Could Descartes have been right? Was the universe dualistic? Or did Kant hit it on the head when he postulated the existence of God on moral grounds?
Claire, what if Kierkegaard is right?
You mean?
You can never really know. Only have faith.
That's absurd.
And don't be so rational.
Well, nobody's being rational, Kaiser. Just don't get ontological. Not now. I couldn't bear it if you were ontological with me. Hello? It's for you.
What?
Still looking for God?
Yeah.
An all-powerful being, great oneness, creator of the universe, first cause of all things. That God.
That's right.
Somebody with that description just showed up down at the morgue. You better get down here right away.
It's him, all right.
It looks like the work of a professional.
The fellow was dead when they brought him in.
Where'd you find him?
Warehouse on Delaney Street.
Any clues?
It's definitely the work of an existentialist. I'm sure of that.
How can you tell?
Haphazard was done. No system was followed. Impulse.
A crime of passion.
You got it. Which means you're a suspect.
Why me?
Come on, Kaiser. Everybody at HQ knows how you felt about Yaspers.
That doesn't make me a killer.
Maybe not. But you're a suspect, Kaiser.
I kept my lunch date and found the Pope, just like Chicago Phil promised. He was incognito, but I could spot that phony beard and toupee anywhere. Sit down. Careful of fettuccine.
No, thanks, Your Holiness. You go ahead.
Nothing, not even a salad.
I just ate.
Suit yourself, but they make a great Roquefort dressing here. Not like at the Vatican, where you can't even get a decent meal.
I'll come right to the point, Pontiff. I'm looking for God.
You came to the right person.
And he does exist.
Sure exists, Lubowitz. But he communicates only through me.
Why you?
Because I got the white suit.
This getup.
Don't knock it. Every morning I get up, put on the white suit, suddenly I'm the big cheese. So I'm the suit.
Then it's a hype. There's no God.
I don't know. What's the difference? The money's good.
You ever worry the laundry won't get your white suit back on time? Then you'll be stuck just like the rest of us.
I used the special one-day service. I figure it's worth the extra few cents to be sure.
Does the name Claire Rosenweig mean anything to you?
Sure. She's in the science department at Bryn Mawr.
Science, you say? Thanks.
For what?
Answer, Pontiff.
Oh, Kaiser, God's dead. The police were just here. They're looking for you. They think an existentialist did it.
No, baby. It was you.
What? What are you saying? Don't make jokes.
It was you that did it. You, baby. Not Heather Butkus, not Claire Rosenweig. Dr. Ellen Shepard. Professor of Physics. Bryn Mawr. The youngest one ever to head a department there. The midwinter off gets stuck on a jazz musician who's heavily into philosophy. He's married. But that doesn't stop you. A couple nights in the hay feels like love. But something comes between you. God. You see, Sugar, he believed or wanted to. But you, with your pretty little scientific mind, had to have absolute certainty.
No, Kaiser, I swear.
So, you pretend to study philosophy, because that gives you the opportunity to eliminate certain obstacles. You got rid of Socrates easy enough, and then Descartes takes over. So you get Spinoza to take care of Descartes.
No, that was Mill. J.F. Mill
But
did
when
that.
Kant can't come through, then you gotta get rid of him too.
You don't know what you're saying.
You made mincemeat out of Wittgenstein. But that wasn't good enough, because you knew that if anybody believed Pascal, you were dead. So you had to get rid of him too. That's where you made your mistake. Because you trusted Martin Buber. Except, Sugar, he was soft. He believed in God. So you had to get rid of God yourself.
Kaiser, you're mad.
No, baby. You posed as a pantheist. And that gave you access to him if he existed. Which he did. He went with you to Shelby's party.
When Jason wasn't looking, you wasted him.
Who the hell is Shelby and Jason?
What's the difference? Life's absurd now anyway.
Kaiser, you won't turn me in, will you?
You bet, baby. When the Supreme Being gets knocked off, somebody's got to take the rap.
Oh, Kaiser, we could go away together. Just the two of us. We could settle down. Forget about philosophy. Maybe get into some answers.
Sorry, sugar. No dice.
Oh, Kaiser, how could you?
The manifestation of the universe is a complex idea unto itself, as opposed to being in or outside of the true being of itself, is inherently a conceptual nothingness, or nothingness in relation to any abstract form of existing or to exist or having existed in perpetuity and not subject to the laws of physicality or motion or any ideas relating to non-matter or the lack of objective oneness or subjective otherness.
It was a subtle concept, but I think she understood before she died.
That's right.
Don't ask. Don't ask.
Let's put a new coat of paint on this lonesome old town. Set 'em up, we'll be knocking 'em down. You wear a dress, baby, I wear a tie. We'll laugh at that old bloodshot moon in that burgundy sky.
Make me a killer.
All our scribbled love dreams, lost or thrown away. Every missing shuffle of an overflowing day. Love needs a transfusion, let's shoot it for the wine.